Hey everybody, Randy Reviews It here. So today we're going to be doing the SHOT Show, kind of follow up my tier list of companies I followed at SHOT Show, what I thought they put out and where they probably could have improved or what they did really, really well. Before we get into that, I have the extreme pleasure of announcing that Paul Harrell has hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Really happy with the way that the community got together on that. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, pre-Miami-Dade reenactment, if you guys remember that video. I'm going to leave a link in the description of my favorite video of Paul Harrell, and it's an hour-long dismantling of someone who questioned Paul Harrell's credentials. Paul Harrell has been an accomplished shooter. He throws tomahawks, he throws knives, he does everything. It's been really, really awesome. Like kind of growing up on his videos, if you could say. I was already an adult, but definitely enjoyed them. So really happy that the community came together, got Paul Harrell to 1 million. It's nice seeing that camaraderie among us, and then just absolute fanboy over Paul Harrell. So yeah. Thanks for everyone for making that happen, sharing that, all the big channels that dove in and shared it. Really happy with that. Without further ado, let's get into the tier list. Hey everybody, here's the 2024 SHOT Show ranking tier list. So I'm going to try to go a little bit faster this time than my typical tier list. I don't want you to get bored or things to be extremely long. So let's dive right into it. Zev, you get an F. You sucked. You put out a subcompact that you probably won't support, just like we still don't have the slides for the OZ9 V2 that you promised us last year. We still don't have options to buy slides. Your modular gun is not really modular if you don't support any of the modularity you claim it to have. I'm sorry. I'm pissed at Zev. They did a piss poor job. Baretta, A. The GTS has a frame decocker. Awesome. The PX4 got better. Awesome. They're still supporting the PX4. Awesome. They got a straight pull bolt action rifle that takes mag-pull mags. Very cool. And then the shotguns are amazing as always. SIG, D tier. Alright, you put out a 10mm and a few different 365s that you already have 40 million of, and then you made a bolt action chassis like everyone else that already has one. It's probably overpriced. Don't care about it. Daniel Defense, good showing. Everyone talked about the H9. Regardless if you want one or not, you have to admit that like it was the talk of SHOT Show. The pistol caliber carbine is interesting, looks decent overall. That H9, how they redesigned it was pretty cool. Griffin Armament, D. I'm a big fan of Griffin Armament as a company, being in Wisconsin, and I've heard a lot of good things about them. Don't have personal experience with anything Griffin yet, but hoping to. But their optics, I was not a fan that they're venturing in optics, especially when one of the red dots surprisingly looked like the Siley Bear, the Gideon Matador or Mediator, and the Swamp Fox Kraken. And if they all look like that, they all came from the same place, and that's questionable. Arrow, also a D. You put out a lever action tactical gun. Yuck. I'm tired of these lever action guns. That was a trend of 2024. Lever actions, 10mm, and just comps. Disappointing. Stag Arms, they're kind of affiliate company, has the hunting version, they have the tactical one. Palmetto, killed it, as usual. We got to vote on them. The VUC looks cool. That AK-521, I believe it is. Kind of clone-ish with like the Jackal upper. They have, I think the Saber Enhanced line looks really cool too. And then also the P7, the 5.7 HK MP7 kind of clone Like, that thing looks pretty cool. I'm not a huge junkie for those, but I know everyone's been wanting one. SDS Imports absolutely killed it. They have a $700 1911 double stack with out of their Thesis brand that's probably reliable, which is crazy cheap. They put out a Benelli M4 clone that's probably very budget friendly. And then last but not least, a $1,000 MP5 clone. Get out of here. Like, they're gonna get some of my business this year. That's all there is to say. Primary Arms, I thought, killed it as well. They finally put out a scope, an LPVO, without all the cluttered reticle trash that most of us will never use. So, it's illuminated, it's awesome. The big talk, though, was the Prism scope. It almost has unlimited eye relief now, and it's got buttons. That eye relief is huge. That was one of the reasons I moved away from their old Prism scopes. So consider me a customer this year. I'm going to have to try one of those out. Olympia Arms, so they had their 308 with the reciprocating barrel again. They made some updates to it. It shoots even softer now. I really hope those start hitting the shelves. Oracle Arms. Sounds like they refined things. They had a smoother go this time around, and they made a compact version. So they're listening to people. They're getting better. As much as I'd like to dive bomb on them for just like making something a different mag, they did pretty good this year. Primary Weapon Systems did really good this year as well. Their URX, I believe, where it's like a universal rifle. It's very modular. So basically you can switch the mag well out, you can switch the barrel, handguard, length, all that stuff on their gun and shoot various calibers through it very, very quickly. So it's really cool. I don't know how many people are going to want to switch calibers like that, but I mean, everyone's still kind of going mad over the ACR and wishing they had more calibers for that. So I think Primary Weapon Systems did good on that. Sons of Liberty Gunworks. 6mm Max was the thing to talk about. Short barrel that puts out crazy velocities with low recoil. Has a better bolt system or more universal bolt than Grendel and Arc. Has better mag support than Grendel and Arc. And a lot of different bullet options. I think this is going to be the caliber that sticks. Grendel and Arc have been around a bit, but like, it doesn't make sense. This one makes sense. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping to try. Staccato, I'm giving you a C. You put out a 4-inch gun, kind of the Goldilocks of their sizes. So it's longer than a CS, it's shorter than a P. They have an island barrel variant, I think, now too. Overall, they put out decent offering. Canic, also giving them a C. So the only thing they really put out was a TTI, so the Terran Tactical Innovations version. And it's gold. It looks really tacky, but I'm sure someone can pull it off. And I'm sure it'll run well because Canics in general are already pretty good. Curious to see what people's feedback is on that. Radian D. Okay, you did the same thing you did for the Glock that you did for the 365. Golf clap. I'm not sure why people keep dumping tons of money into these comps and things like that. They take like a SIG 365 and they turn it into a $2,800 gun near instantly. Between Icarus Precision and Radian, it's gonna get messy. Holosun C, and if they didn't put out the rifle light and the infrared, they'd be in the F because those thermal sights look like complete dog water. If I wanted to use a Virtual Boy again to relive my childhood, I would. The design on those thermal sights looks awful. I can't think of any practical reason to buy one. Yeah, like if they didn't have the rifle light in the infrared, they'd be bombing hard. HK, really poor showing. I think in general, if it weren't for Ernest Langdon, you guys would be in the F tier because only thing they really showed off were Langdon HKs. I love HKs, don't get me wrong. And everyone was expecting the micro updated SFP CC, I think, type thing. They didn't show up with it, so they disappointed a lot of people. FN, yeah, they put out a duty version of the 509 with the same trashy hinge trigger, and they still want more than $800 for it. It's laughable at this point. I don't know who the FN caters to, but it's clearly got to be fanboys because no one else is interested. Kimber, you're getting a D because they actually listen to their customers a little bit. They're putting rails on the DS9s, and then they made a DS9 compact. But overall, it still has the Kimber kind of name on it, and I've heard some things about those guns. I don't want to speak to because I don't know if they're rumors or not, but I'm not looking to get one anytime soon. Shadow Systems, also a D. I love Shadow Systems. Everyone knows that. However, releasing two compensated versions of guns, I wasn't really a fan of. The CR920 could use a longer grip. And there's still different options out there that you guys could be working on. You could be, adding things. The combat version's going away, which sucks because I love the combat. So now, if I buy one, it'll probably be the Foundation series, but it has a plastic trigger in it. So, I'll just have to deal with it. Overall, they just released the MR920P and the XR920P because they were tired of Radian getting all the money off Instagram influencers, getting people to buy comps that they shouldn't. Not a good showing. CZ, an even worse showing. Let's make the annoying straight blowback Scorpion into a pistol caliber carbine so people can compete with it, said no one ever. But somehow they did it. And then they made a bolt gun, like chassis. Like I know CZ makes like some more like hunting rifle variants, but they did like a bolt chassis. Kind of unoriginal. Those things were like 2022. I'm not sure. Like it's the same thing with like SIGs. It's disappointing. So Glock, of course, down in the F. Just like pretty much any year, Glock put out a new gun that no one's really interested in. They put out two, in fact. And they're basically like subcompacts or compacts that have 10mm and 45 ACP chamberings because it was already bad enough that people were making 10mm. Glock didn't want to feel left out. And I've even seen a few videos where people were having issues with them. So Glock somehow managed to make a gun in a caliber that no one really likes to shoot in a subcompact, and they made it less reliable. Golf clap to Glock. Smith & Wesson. They made something new, so I'll put them in a D, but it's a lever action gun. Again, I don't get the purpose of these lever action guns popping up everywhere. And then they brought back the SD9, like, yeah, not a good idea. And then Ruger. They made a new gun, and it's like for survival, and it takes 45 ACP single stack magazines. Like, do they not know that Kel-Tec exists? Like, what are they doing? Seriously, just buy the Kel-Tec instead. Like, that one can support an optic now, and it folds up, or anything like that. The Ruger one is just disappointing. So, that's how SHOT Show stacks up for me, the things that I watched that I have paid attention to. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave your comments if you think I got anything wrong. If you saw a company that you want to dump on or promote, leave a comment on that as well. Alright everyone, thanks for watching my video on the SHOT Show tier list. I just kind of wanted to follow up the big takeaways. You don't need a lever action. You don't need a 10mm. You don't need a comp on your gun. And you don't need a thermal pistol sight. So I hope all of you can exercise some restraint, or you can break free of some of the social media influencers telling you that you need a 10mm for bears
that a tactical lever gun should be in everyone's arsenal and things like that. If you have an actual use case for something, that's fine. But if you're just buying something because you saw, you know, someone deck it out on Instagram and shoot fast with it, like, if you have the money to throw around, by all means. But I know right now the economy is not doing great. A lot of people are struggling. I think, like, I saw something that homelessness is at like an all-time high. Don't know how valid that is when you trust the media nowadays and that sort of thing. But it's hard out there for a lot of people right now. So just be smart. Make good decisions. And have fun with things. Get out there and train as much as you can. I actually signed up for my first course. I'm going to be attending Valor Ridge this year, which I'm really, really excited about. I've met Reed before. So yeah, take a course, get out there and shoot, enjoy your stuff. Don't feel social media pressure to buy something that you don't need. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.